I have a Hoya that needs to be repotted, and I thought if I was going to go ahead and make a mix anyways, I should share that with you. This is going to be our end result, all that lovely, wonderful bark in there. Do you see it? So if you need a Hoya potting mix recipe, join me. All right, we're going to start off with a bowl, and I actually use a spoon, like a large tablespoon size spoon, to stir my ingredients together generally. So let's start with the mix. So we start with, I like to start with whatever is the highest percentage of the total, and that in this mix is going to be bark. I like to use horticultural bark, orchid bark, and I like the company, the Horticultural company. I'm probably mispronouncing, but I will have affiliate links in the description for this video, so you can go, and if you want to support this channel by using those links, that's great. If you don't want to, that's cool too. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab some bark. So I'm not gonna make a huge amount. Of soil, because I actually only have one Hoya that I'm going to be repotting at this time. But I do like to use in my mixes 2 different sizes of bark chips. The Horticultural company does that, or Chata, I don't know how to say that. But I'm sure there are other orchid barks that you can get in different size. These are medium-sized chips, and then I also use small. I think they also have extra small and large. So it's kind of all just what you like. I like to have kind of a variation in sizes. It's totally, sorry, this is really loud. It's totally just what you like. So next, we're going to get some coco coir. I'm going to move the bowl aside for a minute so you can see my coir. You don't have to do this if you you may not buy your coir in a brick like I do. I buy it in a big, huge brick, like 10 pounds, I think. And again, there's links for that. I go through so much of it, seems silly not to. I'm going to scoot that back a little further because I love watching the process of this stuff sucking up water. I mean, there's 3/4 of a cup, and just watch how quickly it just wicks the water up. And in case you don't know what coco coir is, it's actually a byproduct from coconut husks. So it's good for the environment, and it's really good for your plants. I don't know if I'm gonna have to add more water. I added 3/4 of a cup there, and it didn't even get to this second brick. It's still completely intact, basically. So here we go. It's another 3/4 of a cup or so. It might be more coir than I actually want to add to this mix, because I only want the coir to be about 20% total of this mix. And I'm just eyeballing this. This is not scientific at all. I'm gonna move this out because I definitely don't need it. And this is the amount of bark I have. This is all pretty well moistened. So I'm just gonna, like I said, this is an eyeball thing. And you can't really tell until you start mixing. So just go ahead and mix it in, see what you come up with. I'm gonna put some more in. I think I'm going to put the rest of what I have here in. I'm just going to mix that in. Now for some perlite. Such a dum-dum. That was not perlite, that was pumice. But there you can see them. No problem. It's not going to hurt anything for sure. I'm just going to go get some perlite and add a little bit more. Pumice is actually super absorbent, which perlite is not. The reason we use perlite in mixes is because it leaves space in the coir. This will do the same thing. The only thing is this acts just like the coir that we added. It wicks moisture in, holds it, and then when the plant's roots want it back, then it will release it back to the plant's roots. So pumice is great. It's kind of a lot more expensive, and it's also a lot heavier than pumice as well. So where pumice will sometimes come up to the top of your soil mix and kind of rest along the top, pumice will not do that. It will stay in its place in your mix. So it's actually kind of good. It was just a fortuitous accident. Hang on while I grab my pumice. Since I already added pumice as well, I'm not going to add quite as much perlite. So we want about 20% of our mix to be perlite, or if you have crushed pumice, go for it. Pumice is another one that you can buy in different sizes depending on the company that you use. Perlite, they kind of don't sell it like on purpose in different sizes, but you can, depending on the company you purchase from, it will come in different sizes. That's why I love the company that I use for my pumice. I love the size of it. That's pretty good. Are you seeing this? Okay, next we need 5% horticultural charcoal. So not very much. Obviously this is adding bark to our mix, but I use it because it cleans impurities out of your soil mixes, which is always good. I use it because it also helps with smell. If you have a super sensitive nose, which I do, sometimes potted plants in a house can aggravate your really sensitive nose, and horticultural charcoal will do that. I do want to say, if you're going to add charcoal, please do make sure it is a horticultural type charcoal and not just random burnt wood from the backyard. There is a difference, so make sure that you use a horticultural grade charcoal in your potting mix. I was kind of laughing, joking about the horticultural grade charcoal in your household plant mix, but I do want to say, if you are an outdoor flower gardener, that old leftover stumps or logs you have that are really well charred are actually really valuable to use in your flower gardens. My brother is a huge gardener, vegetable gardens and flowers, and uses it actually as a way to help heal himself. He has a lot of PTSD issues from 3 different deployments that he served, and he uses gardening as a way to calm his nerves. But anyway, he swears if you have an old stump in your yard, burn that sucker up and plant your plants all around it after it's had time to cool down, and he says they'll love you forever, even like problem flowers that you have had trouble keeping in the past. So I don't know, something you could think about. But the reason we don't use those inside is the same reason we don't use compost in our inside potting mixes, and it's just you could be introducing insects, diseases, bacteria, microbes that we don't want, all that stuff. So it's just safer to use stuff that you know is horticultural grade because you're keeping it in your home. Last but not least is earthworm castings. Yes, that's a very nice way of saying earthworm poopy. And I use it because it's basically in place of compost. It is compost, but this is safe for your house plants. So we'll just put several, sorry that really messed with my light, didn't it? Several scoops of this. We're trying to aim for about 5% of the mix, so that's probably all I want. And stir this all around really nicely. Oh, Matilda, our little doggy. She's cute, but she's got a big mouth. So I'm just gonna stir this all around, and there you have a fantastic mix for your Hoyas. So I hope that this video was helpful for you, and please share your experience and your comments below. I appreciate them, and I hope you keep watching. I'll be back soon. Oh, I did want to point out, I have a mini watermelon peperomia in a watermelon planter. Pretty darn cute, right? Have a great week, everybody.